degrading to me. Like, go get them something that has a straw in it, you know, that doesn't look like a sippy cup. All right. So divided plate, I love these because you can actually put hot water in them and keep the food heated. So that's what that is. Okay. Again, a universal cup with a spoon. Okay, and then just different other things. We're gonna go over this a little bit more as well when we do dysphagia training. When y'all are feeding each other the different consistencies. Yes, yes you are. Okay, scoop plate and then plate guard. Okay. All right, and dice them. All right. If I usually don't have these two together. Okay. If this is how I'm setting up before she's eating, I'm just gonna do all the things. Okay, what should I be putting in my note? This is before we've even done anything with assistant levels. What should be in the note?
You're giving her all these different adaptive equipment. So the Dyson, the plate with the, I forgot what it's called.
It's a scoop plate.
Yep, that. And then the built-up utensil and the universal cup for the spoon.
Okay, all right, that has to be in there. If you're in a skilled nursing facility, okay, part of your treatment plan, part of their care plan, every bit of this has to be on their care plan. Your OTR is gonna have to run an order for this, okay, all right?
What if you, and this may not be an us thing, maybe an OTR thing, what if you offer her all those things, but she ends up not using all of them?
Then that's something that you would still, I would still have that on the order, just in case we need it, because I'd rather have the order and not use it than have to have, you know, all the things.
And is this something that, sorry.
So then as CODA, if she didn't use all the things on her order, would you document that she didn't use those things, or just document the things she used?
I would just document the things you used.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
is our clinical reasoning that's deciding
That
what we
she
think
needs
she'll
this.
need.
Yes, because so a scoop plate is maybe she doesn't have the control to keep the food on her plate. Okay, divided plate sometimes is even a preference because people don't.
But
like
we
their
can
food
do
to
that.
be-
We can make that decision
Yeah,
as
you can-
CODAs.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you can make 100%. That's your.
Okay.
That is your clinical reasoning. Okay, built up like utensils, universal cup. You're the one that decides.
Okay.
Okay. Just make sure that you have an order for it. All right. And then when you, like if you have someone who has visual issues, or maybe they're not tracking, maybe they've had a stroke and hemi inattention, then in your documentation, you would put how you set up everything. Let's just say that she is, she has right side neglect. Okay. That's why I'm on her right side, because I need her looking at me, and her plate and everything is over here. Okay. If she was left side neglect, everything would be over here. Okay. This would also need to be documented, because I'm going to be able to document how much she scanned midline to get the plate. Okay. All right. If she has any type of visual issues, visual deficits, and it doesn't matter why, I would do the contrast as well. And I would even document that as blue Dyson, white plate for contrast to increase ability to see plate. Okay?
And you're putting it on the weak side because you're grading up the
Correct.
activity.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And if she
Okay.
can't do it, then you move it a little
Then
bit.
I would move it back over here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. And so like
She's like, I'm hungry. I can't see it.
Yeah,
Put it back.
yeah. So, and plus, if you think about it too, a lot of times when you're eating, it's an endurance issue as well. Just like the toothbrush over here, people who, especially after they've had pneumonia, COPD, COVID, they get exhausted from eating. That's why putting them in a wheelchair is a grade up from putting them in the bed. Okay, do not ever let me walk into a facility that you're working at, or you're in a level 1 or 2, and you're feeding somebody in the bed that does not have an order for bed rest. Get them up.
Yeah.
Get them up. That is signs of, they can aspirate in a heartbeat. Okay? All right? And don't be force feeding them either. Yeah.
So when we go to level 2, based on what you just said about the feeding, there will be in the chart, right? It should be for those.
What do you mean, what would be in the chart?
The
Bed rest orders, yeah.
Okay.
So that's why you always check with nursing to make sure,
Okay.
yeah. So,
Question.
yeah.
So if your patient did have the visual neglect, one thing that we did at my acute care fieldwork was orienting them by saying, Miss whatever, look to your left. Is that, would you
Yes,
also do that here too?
100%,
Okay.
yeah, because then those are verbal cues that you can document, okay? Miss Logan needed 3 verbal cues to attend to right side yesterday compared to 5, or 3 today compared to 5 yesterday, showing increase in ability to cross midline independently.
That
So
goes to A.
that would go in your A.
Okay.
The 2 verbal cues compared to 5 yesterday would go in the O. The reasoning why that's a good thing is would go in the A.
Okay.
Then the P would be
What you're gonna
continue
do.
to focus on crossing midline during ADL tasks to increase independence.
Okay.
That's how it relates. Okay. All right. So if I am helping her for
She's
whatever
so
reason,
good. I mean, obviously it would be,
do what?
no, you're just,
I'm just, how do you
we just
remember
wanna be,
all this?
so fast.
you're just easy. I mean, you should be, that's why you're doing what you're
Lots
doing,
of
but.
years. Yeah.
How do you remember all this, like, by the end of the session, though? So, like, you do, like.
Write it down. Like if I was in this session right here,
If she's doing something, then like you can just like.
yeah. So
Remember that
or
one
if I have my
second
little
year,
computer,
you had the notebook?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You had the little
So-
pocket pad?
Yeah. Or-
Somebody else
or,
had like a
where's
folding
my-
clipboard too.
folded paper.
Yes, someone had a clipboard with like
The
clipboard.
folding.
the folding one,
Mama Carrie from
yeah. I know we haven't started yet, but we're getting all the questions in here,
That'd
so
be
I'm
fine.
just filming it.
There you go.
No, we can film the questions.
Okay.
Because I'll have them too.
So let's just say that this is my schedule of the day, okay? It's gonna say Logan Colvin. It's gonna have all my little CPT codes on it, including 97535. That's still, yeah, that's still here. Okay, so let's say I know I have 45 minutes with her. Okay, alrighty. So, Miss Logan, how did everything go yesterday with eating? Do you still like the plate and the Dyson?
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty, so what I'm doing, I'm just writing some notes down so I don't forget. Okay. Alright. So what I want to do is we're gonna still work on self-feeding, okay? So I'm positioned here, okay? I'm not positioned like this. Can you eat? Okay, I'm positioned here, okay? Couple different reasons why. This is more becoming of me to her versus this. Now sometimes, in this, I'm typing, okay? If I'm having to type my note or whatever. Okay, and I'm looking over, all right? But I'm still interacting with her. Plus, also, here, if she falls over, I'm able to catch her, okay? Because I'm positioned here, all right? Versus, especially even versus the other side, all right? So if I'm having to self-feed, and we're in this position to where she's like mod max assist, then I have my hand on her elbow and I'm helping her scoop and feed, okay? Alrighty, this is max assist to dependent for me, okay? Alright? If I'm saying, okay, can you scoop this thing for me and take it to your mouth? Alright, I still consider this more mod assist because I'm having to hold her elbow and help her do it, okay? And we're gonna learn tapping techniques here in a couple weeks with range of motion. If I'm doing this and I'm tapping, and then I'm just, okay, so what you do? Scoop it and feed. Here, this is min assist, because I've got one finger here. And this is a more stable, in this situation, this is a more stable joint, and I'm helping with more range of motion here than I'm just guiding here. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay, all right. When it comes to feeding, more than likely, if you're working on a feeding goal, then speech therapy is in as well, and you actually may have finger foods versus this type of food, and that has a lot to do with swallowing, or it has a lot to do with the function of their hand, okay? Especially if both hands are broken for whatever reason, or one hand, or one hand is broken and one hand, like wrist sprain or whatever, they can't grasp this. And this is also weighted, so move your hand off. Okay, alright, so this right here would be max assist. Cause I'm holding both and I'm having to move this, okay? Mod assist, I'm still moving, but I'm not holding both.
It's like you're doing against the gravity is
Correct, yeah.
taken out
Okay.
when you hold it.
This,
Yeah, thank you.
to me, she's independent with cutting her food right now, okay? But again, just like with bathing and dressing, and with grooming, you have to break down the task with the assistance levels, okay? Cutting food, picking up food, like break it down a little bit more, because if you break it down, cutting food, then this is more of a range of motion thing. It's also a grasp issue, but right now she's got good grasp because it's more of a cylindrical grasp. Cutting food, piece of food here, and I'm having to help her with a fine motor, then I know what I need to focus on. Does that make sense? I need to focus on the fine motor, the tip to tip pinch versus I need to do on the grasp.
So she could be like min assist, cutting, but like mod max.
Exactly.
Picking up food.
Yes.
Okay. That makes
Yeah.
If she's using the built up and weighted 9, would that be modified independence because she's using that?
Not at this moment.
Okay.
This, no. But if I'm hands off and she's doing that, then yes. Yes, it would be modified. Any of this, if she is independently doing it, but this is modified independent.
I just wanna make sure.
Okay, alright. And also, if she had a regular plate with nothing, pretend this is a regular plate, okay? And she was able to do everything, but she's still not crossing midline. Regular plate, and I set the food up on the right side. This is still modified independent because of why?
You're changing it.
Yes, and I would need to document, patient is independent as long as the food is on the right quadrant, right side of her body versus the left. Okay, and it would not matter what this is.
And it also
Correct.
helps the therapist that's coming in, like if you need to take off or something like that, it also helps them.
Yes, correct, yes, correct, yes, and also helps with discharge planning and patient caregiver education, okay, because next week when we do spinal cord dressing, we're gonna talk about how to do patient caregiver education, like if the caregiver is the one having to get them dressed or having to do that, okay, alright, so this is feeding, same thing with, grooming and bathing over here, and then dressing, lower body upper body dressing. Any questions about this? No. Okay.